Yo, what's up, everybody, and welcome to another wonderful episode of the ADHD Gamer, episode number 35. There is no title for this episode like I normally do, so we're just going to wait and find one during the show. I am one of your hosts, Mike McMahon, as always, and joined by Mr. Jonathan Franklin.
What's up, ADHD Gamers?
How are you?
I'm doing all right, man. How are you?
It's been a shitty week, but it's been well. We're coming. Actually,
I used all right.
Yes, correct. Y'all may notice that it's kind of bright in my room right now, and kind of bright behind Jonathan as well. Normally, it's kind of dark. We're vampiring right now and doing this during the day, so we can get some stuff done. Adam is missing this week. He's doing a couple things with his family. He'll be back next week to join us, and we'll be enjoying ourselves. So, guys, I want you to be on the lookout in a couple weeks here. I believe it's the weekend of, what did I say? The weekend of March the 7th, which is my birthday weekend. We are going to pre-record an episode for that weekend. Next weekend, it is going to be a retro episode all about the PlayStation 1 and some stuff that we are going to be, just some retro stuff, games we loved, things of that nature. So make sure to check that out, of course. And you can check it out. You can always check it out on Facebook at ADHD Gamer Podcast, YouTube ADHD Gamer Podcast, and also Instagram at ADHD Gamer Podcast, and obviously podcast services everywhere. So John, have you been playing anything nice?
Yeah, I played a little Apex Legends. I've been doing a lot of mobile gaming this week. I hopped on Call of Duty Mobile and a few other different ones. So
nice.
Been doing that.
Yeah,
Said, fuck it. I don't have time to game at home. I'll game on my fucking phone.
Yeah, exactly. Well, I mean, that works. I mean, Call of Duty Mobile, didn't win Mobile Game of the Year for nothing. I mean, the people have said the game is amazing, and you can play it now with a controller, which I find hilarious. I find it hilarious that you can hook a DualShock or Xbox One controller up to it and play it perfectly fine. I find that hilarious because it shouldn't be like that, because then people will just not buy Call of Duty anymore, or they could if they didn't want to. It's really weird that Activision allowed that. It's really weird that Activision allowed that, because then it comes down to hey man, I don't need to buy Call of Duty. I got Call of Duty Mobile right here, and they could technically not buy Call of Duty if they didn't want to. So, even though usually it that's not how that works, but it could. So
they probably were like, look, we're one of the first people to do this. Play a real game, and they are. And
they are technically
fucking really plays really smooth.
Yeah, I used a DualShock 4 on mine for a little bit, and it worked out really well. I just wanted to test it and see if it worked, and it did really well. I have been playing Assassin's Creed Odyssey, and I'm still playing that. I'm about 31 hours in right now. I'm actually playing 200-hour games right now. I'm playing 200-hour games and one 60 or 70-hour game. I am basically killing myself. I am playing Assassin's Creed Odyssey. I'm still playing Witcher 3, and I am also trying to finish up Octopath Traveler. So I'm doing one of each thing, which Octopath may slow down a little bit now that I can probably finish The Witcher a little bit faster with our first news story that's going to be here. I'll talk about that in a little bit. Another thing I'm going to try this week is I've talked about PS4 remote play a lot, and I've got my laptop where it's set up pretty well now. I'm going to take my laptop to work with me tomorrow, and on my lunch break, I'm going to take it and I'm going to try and play some PS4 on my laptop and see how it does. If it does that, then that's even better than playing it on my phone, because I have it right there in front of me and I got a bigger screen. So, I'm going to try that and we're going to see what's up. But mostly it's just been Assassin's Creed Odyssey and loving the shit out of that game.
I'm going to hold you to that. I really want to know how it does on like a public Wi-Fi like that.
I can tell you that on my phone it did fine. Mm-hmm. What was it, like 4K 10? No. Was it 1080p? Mm-hmm. Probably not. It was probably a 720p stream. I can tell you can definitely tell it's a video stream. You can definitely tell, but it's playable and it works perfectly fine. When I used my phone, I played about an hour of Kingdom Hearts 3 at the hospital one night. Well, yeah, it was about an hour. Yeah, it was about an hour because I was broke down and then I had a lunch. So it's probably about an hour, and it worked perfectly fine. No problems. No. I mean, there was a little bit of latency. You could tell. I mean, but it's streaming.
Yeah.
With people, streaming companies that tell you there's never going to be latency are fucking crazy. I mean, there's always latency. Like we talked multiple times. I mean, me and Adam said it, that even when you're at home sitting on your chair and your couch playing a game with a wireless controller, technically you are experiencing latency. You just don't. You just can't tell it. So it's a fun thing. I will let you know how it goes. I'm gonna see how it goes on my laptop on the public Wi-Fi, and because obviously it's the free Wi-Fi, you can't get into the other stuff because it's password protected. But yeah,
I've used it a few times and it's worked out really well. It's just like you said, that latency and that lag, and it gets a little glitchy here and there. But I playing like Silent Hill 2 a couple times on there.
Yeah,
it's playable.
There's certain games. I mean, you shouldn't play, like, is anything multiplayer? No, you should not play anything multiplayer on that. No. But for single player games, yeah, I don't see a problem with that. A single player third person game, I don't see a problem with playing it.
I mean, if you really want to get royally fucked, you can do it on there.
Yeah.
But I mean, I wouldn't suggest it.
If I did it and got a kill, I'd be happy.
At that point, that's a win.
Yeah, technically. Hey, just letting everybody know, I just got I usually don't do this, but I just got a breaking news. A while back, we talked about the Division 2 being $2.99 digitally everywhere. That is still available right now. Division 2 you can get for $2.99 everywhere right now. That is on February the 22nd. That's as of today. Just letting everybody know that game is wonderful. Go play it. Yeah, man. So it's been wonderful. You got any wonderful little shirts on there we can talk about in this topless session?
Cannot remember if I've shown this shirt before. I think I have. It's a My Hero shirt.
Yeah, it's the All Might shirt. Yeah, All Might and Deku shirt.
All Might and Deku. Yeah. I did not come up with a fresh one this week. Sorry.
I don't know if I've shown this one either. I have my honk shirt, my goose shirt here.
I know I've seen it, but I don't know if you may have already done it.
I may have already done this one. I'm wearing this to give a shout out to the fact that Untitled Goose Game won Game of the Year at the DICE Awards. So it's in that one over the likes of Control and over Death Stranding and over things of that nature. If nobody knows what the DICE Awards are, so the DICE Awards are voted on by game developers. So the Game Awards are voted on by the critics. DICE Awards are voted on by game developers from these different companies, and so everybody that is a game developer ever voted on this, and they voted on Untitled Goose Game, and I thought that was pretty cool to give an indie developer a Game of the Year. So that was pretty cool.
What do devs know?
Yeah, they just create our games.
What do they know?
So hopping into the news, I wanted to first talk about a update that happened the other day, one that I am very excited about, something I've been talking about for a long time since it hit. So for you guys that know, for you guys that don't know, I may be a small fan of The Witcher. Really? And yeah, a small one. The Witcher 3 Wild Hunt came out on Nintendo Switch in November, I believe. I started playing it. It plays perfectly fine. Of course, graphically, it doesn't look wonderful. But a thing I can tell you is that for a long time, I believe me and Eric discussed this on a show one night when he was here. The one thing I wanted was a cross save between PC and Switch to bring my PC save wherever I go. This week, they released an update, 3.6. I was actually up at 2 a.m. playing The Witcher when this update came out, because I also have a Steam Link hooked up to my PC, to my wonderful whatever this television thing, I guess television TV, whatever this thing is called, and I was playing that, and I got a freaking update about 2 a.m. from Mr. Wario64 on Twitter himself about this update, and it was coming out in Korea, and it was a matter of time before we get it here in the West. So on the 18th, which I believe was Tuesday, we got update 3.6 for The Witcher 3 Wild Hunt Complete Edition on Nintendo Switch. Just to give you a little bit of what is in this update. Update 3. And this is coming to us from the actual CD Projekt Red, The Witcher site, thewitcher.com. We added touch control support, added save file integration with GOG, Steam, and versions of the game from Switch from different regions. That's the big one. Added more text languages in select regions. Added more graphical options, so they added like anti-aliasing and a couple of other things in there to where it does look better. Added multiple performance optimizations, fixed various visual and functional bugs, various gameplay and crash fixes. And they say on here, while transferring saves from PC, please keep in mind mod-related bugs and blockers might get transferred from a modded PC game file. If the save file if the save file name has been changed on PC, the Switch's cloud save feature won't be able to recognize it. That's the big thing here. Is the integration between the save integration between Steve and GOG. So how it goes, Jonathan, is you can. So if you have a GOG, which is Good Old Games, which is owned by CD Projekt Red, if you have The Witcher on GOG or Steam and you're playing, you can save your Witcher, or you save your Witcher save to the Steam cloud. And then what you can do with your Switch is, on your Switch there is a little thing that says cloud saves. Basically, you can click on Steam or GOG and you can bring your cloud save in to play. So if I was to go out, let's say, and I bring my cloud save into the Switch, and then I leave and I go play and I have a good time and blah, I come back home, I have to upload that save back to the cloud, back to the Steam cloud, so that I can play it again on my PC, to keep going from where I left off at. That's the only thing that sucks, is you have to re-upload the save, the save. But it's a wonderful thing. I love it. I'm loving it.
It makes sense.
Yeah, and Divinity Original Sin did this too on Switch, and it's worked fine. People love it. I love it for the factor of, once again, it's portable. I can leave here and go play The Witcher. You know, it's been a really cool thing.
Huh. Awesome.
Yeah, it's a really fun thing. It's not real big news. This week is not a real big news week at all, but it's just a really cool thing that we've been waiting on, basically. Yeah. Maybe not we, but I have been waiting on. I've been saying I wanted it for a while.
I would prefer to play it that way.
It's cool because if you already own it on PC and you're like, man, I really don't want to start a fucking 120-hour game over on Switch, then you get it on PC. Now you're like, oh, I can take this portable. No, it's not going to look as great, but I can play it portable and I can enjoy it. You know, I can take my save with me and do all that. So why not? Nope. Now it's a thing of, why not do it on Switch? Why not get it for Switch?
No, what I think that'll help prevent is the game delay. Like you just stop playing a game because life gets fucking busy, and then you forget how to fucking play the controls, or you forget the story, and then just keep pushing it back. But if you can take it with your Switch and go play it there, you're still keeping that fresh in your mind on how to play and all that jazz, and you avoid that that itis where you have to come back and relearn everything and forget half your fucking story.
Right. So it's
just finish that bitch.
Yeah, and I mean that's a lot of reason why a lot of people, including me, don't finish the games, because it's a thing of, I leave the house, life gets in the way, and then I never come back to it. But now it's kind of one of those things of, hey, if I'm at work for 30 minutes, I can hop on for 30 minutes. I mean, I'm going to tell you, doing that with Fire Emblem Three Houses, that's how I played an 83-hour playthrough of Fire Emblem Three Houses when I wasn't here playing on my couch. Which I can tell you, I played that game more when I was at work. Well, of course, I'm going to say this because in case anybody from my work watches, on my lunch break, then I played that more there than I did here. Because it was portable, it was easier for me to take. So it was easy, simple.
I like it, freaking like it.
Awesome. Let's move on to this next story here.
Okay. This story comes to us from Nicole Carpenter at Polygon.com. Basically, this is saying that we're going to get a new coral pink colored Nintendo Switch. Somewhere around April. It looks like April 3rd, they're going to release a Nintendo Switch Lite coral color. It's going to be good for a lot of different people. I'm going to read a little bit here. The Nintendo Switch Lite, the company's handheld-only Switch, was first introduced in 3 colors: turquoise, gray, and yellow. In April, the Switch Lite lineup is getting a new addition, Coral. Nintendo of America announced on Tuesday that its Nintendo Switch Lite Coral will be released on April 3rd. The new Switch Lite color is expected to launch in Japan on March 20th, alongside Animal Crossing New Horizons. The new Switch colorway, however, isn't Animal Crossing themed, like the New Horizons console coming earlier in March. When it's released on April 3rd, the new Switch Lite color will cost $199.99. I mean, it's not bad. Like, it's definitely not a color that I'd pick out, but there's a lot of girls that I know that love that color.
Right, and to be honest, if this would have been out at launch, I would have bought this for my daughter instead of the turquoise.
Absolutely,
it's a thing that I once again, I don't want to. With this world that we live in nowadays, I don't want to throw gender stuff out there, but. A pink coral color is more of a feminine color. Not saying anything. If you like coral, I actually wear a lot of coral pink shirts. I don't care. But that would be something cool for it's something cool for little girls and stuff, because little girls are always into pink. My kids, of course, they love pink and turquoise. My daughter loves her turquoise Switch, but if this would have been out, I would have got her that. I have the gray one. Yeah, man, it's cool. I think it's cool they keep bringing these out. Keep throwing colors out there. I still think it's kind of weird that the actual Switch, that we're not getting like an Animal Crossing Switch Lite console. We're actually getting a full. We're just like kind of a Pokemon, kind of Pokemon way. It didn't make sense, but Pokemon did kind of make sense because Pokemon was more of a mobile game, so that's why you got a Switch Lite that was Pokemon. Yeah, that's cool.
I've really been hoping for a few more custom Switches that interest me.
Dock, you mean
Pokemon one?
You mean like console wise, like actual dock wise?
Mm-hmm. I'm not talking about because they obviously have all the stickers and shit. Where
you can skin it,
make stuff. But I'd much prefer to have like an all gold Legend of Zelda themed.
Yeah, that'd be pretty cool.
Switch or something, But
I mean, to be honest, we could make that
colors, and that's okay.
I mean, I can tell you. I mean, I will tell you that we could make that.
Oh yeah.
I can tell you that I have taken apart my Switch dock, and all that's in there is a motherboard about that big. It's a PC board about that big is what's running your whole Switch. What's running your whole Switch dock. Wow. So I mean, pulling that out and literally spray painting everything would be fucking simple to do. So just to throw that out there at you, and then of course the painting or whatever, that would be very simple. So just throw that out there at you.
As long as you're a little crafty, you can do it. I know I can do it. It's not a big deal.
It's not. It's very, as long as and if you're not crafty, I can tell you there's a place called Etsy.com where I'm sure there are about 300,000 people that will happily do this for you if you have the money.
True business.
Problem is what I just said there. If you have the money, because it's very expensive. But other than that,
they don't make things cheap on Etsy either.
No, they don't. So. No, it's pretty cool. It's a pretty cool thing. I'm glad we're still getting these. I think it's pretty freaking cool, especially because they were saying a lot of people love the Switch Lite, including me. But a lot of people were saying in the beginning of the thing of like, hey, there's really not a lot of feminine color. There's mm-hmm. they got the turquoise is kind of like a gender neutral color, so say, and then you got like a yellow, of course, is a more feminine color, but people say. But I mean, there's not like I love purple. Purple is like one of my favorite colors. I would love to see like an electric purple Switch. I would probably trade mine in to go get that, because I just love electric purple. So that's pretty cool. That's pretty cool though. Moving on to the next thing here, probably the big story this week. Yeah. So the other day, Sony, I believe this was late last week or last weekend, Sony had announced that they would be at PAX East, and PAX will be the first place, PAX East, which is in Boston, PAX East will be the first place that anybody gets hands-on, that customer, us, fan base, gets hands-on with Last of Us Part 2. Now they have came out and said, I'm going to read a little bit of this article here from Ian Walker from Kotaku. Basically, they are pulling out of PAX East, and there's a little bit more to this too. I'll read another one. So I'm going to read a little bit of this article. PlayStation is pulling out of PAX East due to increasing concerns related to the illness colloquially. Is that how you say that word? I am freaking dumb when it comes to reading words. Is that colloquially?
Pulling out. The
illness.
Colloquially. I can't even say it now. Colloquially.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I am dumb when it comes to words, people, so realize I probably don't know what that means. Related to the illness with that word.
It basically means the meaning of a word.
Okay, cool. Thank you. Known as the coronavirus. It said on the PlayStation blog. Sony's booth was slated to feature major upcoming games like The Last of Us Part 2, Final Fantasy VII Remake, and Doom Eternal. The show, which has been drawing over 70,000 attendees in the past, takes place in Boston, Massachusetts from February 27th to March 1st. That's next weekend, by the way. This news comes 2 weeks after a man living in Boston was found to have the illness after returning home from Wuhan, China, the epicenter of the coronavirus outbreak. Quote, we felt this was the safest option as the situation is changing daily, end quote. Sony wrote in the post, quote, we are disappointed to cancel our participation in this event, but the health and safety of our global workforce is our highest concern. There was an update at 1:52 p.m. on that same day. Quote, while we are saddened that Sony will no longer have a presence at PAX East 2020, we look forward to welcoming our friends at Sony to future PAX events and are focusing on making PAX East 2020 a successful enjoyment event for all attendees and exhibitors, the show's director said. Quote, PAX East 2020 will take place as scheduled with enhanced cleaning and sanitization across the show. Probably just means a lot of hand sanitizer everywhere, including adhering to the recommendations set forth in the U.S.'s EPA regarding cleaning disinfectants against the COVID-19 virus, which, if nobody knows, that's what this is called now. It's called COVID-19, which is, everybody just says coronavirus. So we'll talk a little bit about that real quick. With this being said, I understand it, because especially you got people coming over here so able to show some of these games, you would have to have the people coming from overseas to here to show those games, which I don't want to say they could be contracted, but they could be. And also they don't want those people catching that here and then taking that back to their home. As far as we know, this was only in China, as far as we knew. But I know it's moved everywhere. I know they had a couple cases. Once again, I want everybody to know I work for a medical waste company, and I've had to take multiple procedures on finding this shit and seeing this different stuff. I work at a couple different hospitals, a slew of hospitals, if you will, and they're watching out for it. And at one time, we had thought there were two patients that they were getting tested for this at one of the hospitals I work at. Thank God they tested negative. But yeah, so this is it's understandable why they would back out of PAX East.
I mean, there's been cases popping up. There was one in California and Boston and a few other different ones. We get viruses all the time that people freak out about, but this is the first one that I've ever been, hey, maybe we should be careful about this. You know what I mean? Like,
well, especially because
a little bit more than what we usually get about some random ass flu.
Especially because they say all of the stuff that you get, like all the symptoms, are flu-like symptoms. Yeah. I mean, they say it's a lot of fever, it's a lot of coughing, it's a lot of throwing up, it's a lot of flu-like stuff, is what they were saying.
And that's probably how people end up dying, is they just don't get it checked.
Yeah, I can see that. I mean, for them to say they're going to pull out of PAX East, which is in Boston, and there was a person there that they had found in Boston, because you never know who else has it at this point. I understand that. And I mean, just to let everyone know, there is such a thing as, I call it convention flu. Every time I come home, con flu, there you go. Every time I come home from a convention, I feel like I don't want to say I'm getting sick, but usually my throat's either hurting or I can't talk. That could also be from me screaming. My ears are hurting. Something is wrong when I come home from a con, and it's usually due to a lot of people not washing their hands. And I'm always the bad part about it is I'm always with hand sanitizer. I got junk hooked on my backpack. I'm always with it, and I'm still getting sick. And
well, when you got like thousands of motherfuckers walking around there that don't even wear deodorant, let alone wash their fucking hands,
or just like coughing in your face and fucking all kinds of shit.
You can't have 100,000 people in one spot and not expect to have some sort of bacteria or some shit rubbing off onto your body.
Well, yeah, and you also always have that one guy who's like, "Fuck, I'm sick this weekend and I bought tickets. Yeah, fuck it." Yeah. And then they just come to the show, and then bam, now 20,000 people are sick because of this one guy. You know, and that unfortunately that happens. So I can understand why they backed out of this. Mm-hmm. So the last half of this, it was announced 2 days ago. So this story came in after that story. This comes to us from IGN from Matt Kim. PlayStation and Oculus skipped GDC over coronavirus. So basically the same thing. Oculus and PlayStation will not be at GDC now, which GDC is coming up here in a couple weeks. GDC will not be at GDC due to the coronavirus stuff as well. Which, if nobody knows what GDC is, that is the Game Developers Conference. It's where a lot of game developers go and talk about different things. There's not really a lot of news that come out of there. That's where Stadia was announced last year. Different things of that nature. So it's understandable, you know. I mean, and that this one, and GDC's in Southern California, I believe. Yes, in San Francisco, or not Southern California. It's in San Francisco. Yeah, it's an understandable thing to want to keep your people away from that shit.
I'm sure they're much more cautious being on that side of the world too, because they're so close to Wuhan, China, that they could easily get it, and if they don't protect themselves, you know, I'm sure they have it built up in their head that it's really, really bad. So
yeah, I mean, and I'm sure it's way. Actually, I'm not sure. I know it's way fucking worse over there than it is here.
Oh yeah.
You know, especially with from what I've heard, China's not letting people leave the country. It's different things that, like, so if you were a tourist in the country at that time, like, I don't even think you're leaving at that point. Like, I think there was a problem with that. You know, it's like I said, it's an understandable thing. Like, it's not something. I don't blame them. Like, I'm not there obviously, but I don't really blame them at all.
I mean, I really don't either, man. Like, it makes sense. Can be a really scary thing, and you know, there's nothing to be said that you shouldn't be upset about this. This is a legit fear. So
no,
I feel like they could probably do something though.
Yeah, I mean, and the thing is, when you go to think about it, man, you've got fucking think about it this as you're not being able to catch this right now because they're not letting their people come over here, and in case it's not spreading, so say. Mm-hmm. So just think about it that way. Okay. All right. Well, let's move on to the next story. Go ahead.
All right. So this one comes to us from Chris Priestman at PCGamer.com. It looks like, so I'm going to read directly from here. It looks like Gearbox's CEO, Randy Pitchford, has let loose some information on the Borderlands movie a little bit too early. Last night, Pitchford revealed that Eli Roth is the film's director in a tweet that was quickly deleted. Fortunately, Kotaku, those great guys, were able to get an image of the tweet just before it pulled down. I'm going to read it now. I'm very excited to welcome Eli Roth as director of Borderlands the movie, in development with Lionsgate and Arid Productions. Please welcome Eli Roth to the team, and be sure to catch at Gearbox official main theater show at PAX East on 2/27 to learn more. Hashtag Borderlands movie. So, Eli Roth, if you didn't know, he has directed movies like Cabin Fever and the Hostel films. He apparently likes to hurt people in horrendous ways because that's what he's done. He's also been in some Quentin Tarantino films. I believe we discussed right before the show that he did Inglourious Bastards, which the Bear Jew type deal. So that's interesting. I like how they keep leaking these things out here like it wasn't meant to be done.
Did you? There's something. Yeah. Well, I mean, it was going to be done before. It was going to be done before PAX this weekend coming up. But it was a week early. I think Randy Pitchford is always known to do some dumb shit. If nobody knows who Randy Pitchford is, he basically owns Gearbox. He's the president, owns whatever you fucking want to call it. Randy Pitchford is always doing some really dumb shit on Twitter. I've talked about it multiple times about how the flash drive thing, and we talked about a while back about how he had like kitty porn on there and different things of that nature. He left a flash drive with this stuff at at a medieval times.
Oh, I remember that.
Yes.
Oh, that was him.
Yeah, Randy Pitchford always does some, and it wasn't kiddie porn. It ended up being the girl ended up being an 18-year-old or something like that on fucking But who saves their porn anymore, Randy? Come on, buddy. It's
Pop it up anytime, man.
Yeah,
really.
But you have
a cell phone.
Very simple. Very very easy. And you could also use browsing. You could also use your browser. What do they call that, John?
Oh, your what? My
what
browser?
What do they call that? Your
Tumblr account?
Nope. No. Your browser in Safari, that your private browser. That way it doesn't save your history. That way it doesn't save your history, Randy. Come on, buddy. There's also something in this story which I remember this coming out a while back. The creative director on Borderlands 3 wants The Rock, Mr. Dwayne The Rock Johnson himself, to play Claptrap. I think that would be hilarious.
It would be, but I feel like this movie is kind of a rated R movie.
Yeah, Rock's.
And The Rock doesn't really.
Rock wasn't Doom.
Yeah, but he didn't really cuss or do anything like
Rock
crazy.
Will cuss. He cusses all the time, and fucking. I think if I remember right, Rock cusses a lot, in the Fast and Furious stuff.
Oh, okay. Well, you know what? I haven't seen any of the last multiple Fast and Furious movies, so I think I stopped watching at Fast 5-ish. But I just don't see him being like doing vulgar shit. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that's kind of a casting issue. I don't think he'll do it, but he would be cool to have. Like if he went up there and just started ripping people up and fucking cussing all over the damn place, I would love that.
And to be honest, it'd be really weird. So for Borderlands 3, they changed the voice actor for Claptrap because David Hines wasn't and isn't at Gearbox anymore. So how a lot of Gearbox characters in Borderlands are actually people that work there. They're actually developers that work there, and they just like, hey, yeah, I don't need any extra money. Just let me voice this thing, and then they don't get any extra money out of it. So it'd be really cool for them to bring the original voice actor back for Claptrap. It'd be super cool for that, or just let this new person that did it. This new person actually didn't do a horrible job. Eli Roth is a little bit much for me. I am not one to say, I love movies to an extent. It's really weird for me to say that I don't know if I want to watch that. Like Hostel, I watched Hostel and I don't want to watch I don't want to watch another one. They've came out with multiple ones. What was the other one? Cabin Fever was okay. Eli Roth has a thing about torture porn, where he does like torture porn stuff. Like he's like always torturing people and he's ripping people in half and all that good stuff. So I understand why this is a good thing for Borderlands movie, because it does make sense. Borderlands does have like a lot of dismemberment and things like that. I really want to know if they're going to keep like the cell shaded type, the coloring and the graphical stuff. I do want to know that. I would love to see.
I feel like that needs that's imperative to have. Like
it has to.
That's what makes Borderlands Borderlands.
The other thing I want to ask is, who is seriously asking for a Borderlands movie? Like
not a single fucking person. Zero people.
I really don't think so, dude. Like there's not a lot of people that are actually asking for a Borderlands movie. I mean, it was talked about a while back. I mean, I'd be fine with it, but it's kind of one of those things that like, I guess I'll watch it.
I feel like it's gonna fall in the whole. Just my initial impression of the thought of it, the idea is that it's gonna fall in that shitty video game movie role. Like, it has everything bad going for it. That shitty video game movie that literally is only about the gore and the action and shit and none of the sustenance. You know, that's what the initial vibe I get. I don't want to shit on it too much, but I'll probably watch it.
Oh, I'm gonna watch it. If it being made by Lionsgate really doesn't tell you much. I mean, Lionsgate's not a massive publisher of movies. Developer of movies, should I say?
Lionsgate speaks kind of volumes to the quality of the movie.
Yeah, but it's going to be a thing that, of course, if you're a video game lover, if you're a Borderlands lover, this is going to be something that's going to be for you. You know, you're going to be able to enjoy that kind of stuff. So yeah, that's that. Our next story here is a big one that came out a couple days ago. So we talked a while back, I believe it was either last weekend or the weekend before, about Insomniac being bought by PlayStation, how much they were bought for. So this week it came out that Embracer Group, which Embracer Group owns. Well, hold on. Here, I'm just gonna go ahead and read this damn article. Embracer, this comes to us from Hayden Taylor at GameIndustry.biz. Embracer Group acquires Sabre Interactive in $525 million deal. Embracer Group has acquired World War Z developer Sabre Interactive in a deal worth $525 million. So World War Z is that newer, should I say, 4-person zombie shooter that's a blast of a game to fucking play. If you haven't played it, please do. If you want to play it, add me on Xbox at TadPhoenix, TATDPHOENIX. Yeah, that's how you spell that. And fucking we'll play. I've been wanting somebody to play this game with and can't find nobody, so please get it so we can play. Let me finish out the article here. Formerly THQ Nordic AB, the company rebranded as Embracer Group in August 2019. The group has made multiple acquisitions in recent years, snapping up small and large companies alike. However, the Sabre Interactive deal is the company's largest spending splurge so far, offering $150 million upfront and another $375 million over 3 years based on performance. Founded in 2001, the U.S.-based Sabre Interactive has grown since to around 600 staff across 5 internal studios. Last year grossed over $100 million. Sabre Interactive will become the 5th subsidiary of Embracer Group, though it will maintain autonomy. I don't know how to autonomy. Thank you. I never know how to fucking say that word. And there are no planned restructuring or cost saving measures. I can't talk today. Matthew Karch and Andre Ions, Sabre Interactive co-founders and owners, will jointly become Embracer Group's second largest shareholder. Last year, Embracer raised $225 million for further acquisitions. In today's announcements, the company said that this deal was part of its previously communicated strategy of expansion. I'm going to read the last sentence of this article, which I find hilarious. I don't want to find hilarious, but I found like wow type moment. Following the acquisition, Embracer Group has nearly 2,600 staff across 31 studios. Embracer Group owns now THQ Nordic, I believe, owns somewhere around 26 studios, I believe, and they have over 100 IP. They have over 58. Hold on. It's like 58 or 80. It's either 58 or 80 games in development right now.
Whoa.
Yeah. It's a crazy number of. You ask yourself, like, what is THQ Nordic doing? And they're buying all these old IPs to have them in case they want to redistribute. So THQ Nordic, as you guys know, is real big in they have a lot of the older IP. So they have like I think they just released, what was the Alien game? It just came out for PlayStation. The one that came out.
Damn. Destroy All Humans.
Destroy All Humans. Thank you. Yes, that's it.
Yep.
So they have that. They have what's the one I'm thinking about? Son of a bitch, I can't think about what fucking games they got coming out. Damn it, man, it's gonna make me mad. Anyway, they own a shitload of studios. And I'm looking on the Wikipedia page here. They own Black Forest Games, Bugbear Entertainment, Experiment 101, Grimlore Games, Gunfire Games, Handy Games, Mirage Game Studios, Nine Rocks Games, Pieces Interactive, Piranha Bytes, Rainbow Studios, THQ, and I believe they're starting a new studio called THQ Nordic Barcelona. And yeah, it's freaking crazy. It's crazy how many studios they own. And I mean, they have so many IP in development right now. Like I heard something this week on one of the podcasts. They have a shitload of IP in development right now. So Destroy All Humans was one. Darksiders was the thing I was thinking about. THQ Nordic does Darksiders. THQ Nordic also owns Deep Silver, which also does the Metro series. Yeah, it's crazy. Red Faction's one of their things. It's crazy the IP that they actually own. Dude, they own like Kingdoms of Amalur, which is one of my more favorite games. They have fucking like Time Splitters. It's just crazy.
Jesus,
Alone in the
lot.
Dark, Active War. They have over 100 franchises just sitting there at their 100 IP like franchises just sitting at their studio alone. It's crazy to think how much they actually own, and like, what the fuck are you guys doing with this? And they have like, I don't know the exact number, so don't quote me. Here, talk a little bit about this, John. I'll find
I'd
it.
love to see them do Alone in the Dark. I actually love the last one that they did with the Alone in the Dark series. I know a lot of people shit on it, but that flashlight mechanic, man, you know.
Here you go.
It's good shit.
Here's a story from Game Informer, May 22nd, 2019. I'm sure this has gone up since then. This is from Game Informer, and this is from Blake Woog. Let me find the exact. Here it is. THQ Nordic, the publisher behind Darksiders 3 and Metro Exodus, has been quietly acquiring game licenses and studios for the past 5 years. In a recent financial report, it revealed that the company currently has 80 games in development across 2 publishers and a major studio, with one being currently unannounced AAA game from 4A Games. I believe that was best known as the studio behind the Metro franchise. So 4A Games is who makes Metro, basically. I want to say that they have a AAA game in their midst right now that they're making, because Metro Exodus, I believe, was not made by them. Or if it was made by a separate team. Let me see real quick. Metro Exodus was made. Oh, it was. I'm sorry. It was made by 4A and published by Deep Silver. And Deep Silver is of course owned by THQ Nordic. Or they're a subsidiary. What's a subsidiary, John? Subsidiaries are like separate companies, like sister companies. Is that what a subsidiary is?
Honestly, I have no idea at the moment.
I believe subsidiaries are. I believe subsidiary companies are like almost like sister companies. Yes, company of a daughter company. Company or daughter company is okay. Yeah, it is that. Like I work for Stericycle. We our sister company is Shreddit. So that's okay. That makes sense now. Okay, so now I know what a subsidiary is. Learn new stuff every day on this fucking gaming podcast.
We really do, though.
Yeah, we really do.
Like every week, we learn something new.
So it's pretty cool. I mean, 80 things in development right now. Now, of course, that could be, that could literally be, hey, man, I want you to take 3 people and go over here and work on this game. Go over and start on this game. So when we get the team together, they can go hard on that. You know, that's probably what a lot of that is. They probably got like 3 or 4 people working on each thing, you know, just to get it started. But it's still fucking cool that they got 80 fucking things in development. A lot of them are next gen, obviously, at this point. It's just really freaking cool, man.
I don't even know how a company that's of that size juggles that many fucking games at one time. Like,
it's really weird because you remember. So you got to remember THQ was THQ a bunch of years ago.
Right.
They went into bankruptcy, and they were bought by, I think they were bought by the Nordic company, and then Nordic just decided to keep their name as THQ Nordic.
They were doing a bunch of the wrestling games for a while, weren't they?
I believe
THQ?
so.
Yeah.
Maybe I remember. Oh yeah. THQ was doing the older wrestling games, like
SmackDowns and shit.
Yeah, the older PlayStation stuff and older PS2 stuff and stuff like that. Yeah. Or no, hold on. Was that them or was that because they had THQ, they had Acclaim, and there was another one.
I think because the ones on the Xbox 360, I believe, were THQ.
Yeah, I believe so.
Yeah.
So. Yeah, it's a cool thing. I mean, we'll see more on it, and we'll see what's happening. I mean, their recent stuff, just showing their recent stuff is, I'm trying to look at their games list and see if they've really announced anything else recently. I'm not. Let me see games list of THQ Nordic games. All right, so as of, let's see, their last thing they released. Okay, so Destroy All Humans is 2020. It hasn't came out yet. Biomutant is a big one. Biomutant is one that's been talked about for years now. That still hasn't came out. That's supposed to release sometime this year. Comanche, which is the new obvious Comanche. If you're not sure what Comanche is, it's a helicopter shooter. Battle for Bikini Bottom remake, the new one, Rehydrated actually is what it's called, from SpongeBob SquarePants. So that's all their newer stuff for right now. We'll see, man. It's exciting. I mean, I'm glad they're bringing these old IP up and keeping them, and for keeping them for a rainy day, and kind of keeping the older gamers in thought of like, you know what, man, if nobody buys these older guys will, because this is games that they grew up with and they enjoyed. If we were to make a new one, this would be pretty cool.
I mean, legit, they have a lot of these IPs that I fucking had great times on. Like,
I mean, a big one they got was Time Splitters. I mean, Time Splitters was a big one that a lot of people enjoyed back in the day, and it'd be cool to see them make a new one. Mm-hmm. So,
yeah, Saints Row, fuck yeah.
Yep, they own Saints Row. They own let me see.
Darksiders.
Let me see. Hold on, what do they own? Darksiders. Mm-hmm. IP list. Hold on, let me see if I can find something here, and I'll give you
some UFC games and wrestling games. Battle Chasers. No Mercy. WWF No Mercy. That was a ton.
Yeah, that was
one. Yeah, SmackDown versus Raw. WWE 2013. Yeah.
Here's the acquisition. I'm looking at the list of acquisitions here. I mean, just to give you some stuff they own, like stuff that Jonathan said: Alone in the Dark, Kingdoms of Amalur Reckoning, Time Splitters. Let's see if I can find something else here that they own that you guys would probably know. I mean, there's a bunch of stuff here, man.
Red Faction Guerrilla.
Red Faction's another one. Comanche, for you older guys.
Homefront.
Yeah, but Homefront, that last Homefront was horrible.
Yeah. It was a good premise.
Yeah, it's cool. MX versus ATV, that was a big one. Full Spectrum Warrior, Frontlines Fuel of War, Juice, which is their like Fast and Furious type game. Of course, Destroy All Humans. De Blob, Darksiders, of course, just different stuff like that, man. It's really fucking cool to see all the stuff they own, and they can easily make a new one of any of these, like they want to, In all honesty, I would want them to pull something that hasn't been made in a while and go ahead and do that, just to make a new version of it. So that's pretty cool, and we'll make sure to keep you guys posted on that and check out how that is.
Cool.
That's gonna end out the news, John. Let's hop into new releases.
All right, let's do it.
Starting out, we got Mathland on Switch on February 24th.
Kingdom Hearts 3 Remind DLC Xbox One February 25th.
Mega Man Zero ZX Legacy Collection for PC, PS4, Xbox One, Switch February 25th.
Neverwinter Infernal Descent PS4 and Xbox One February 25th.
Samurai Showdown on the Switch February 25th.
2 Point Hospital, PS4, Xbox One, and Switch, February 25th.
Mousecraft on Switch, February 27th.
Overpass, PC, PS4, Xbox One, and the Switch, February 27th.
One Punch Man, A Hero Nobody Knows for PC, PS4, and Xbox One, February 28th.
Rune Factory 4 Special, Switch, February 28th.
Cool. Go ahead and hop in the Budget Gamer and let them know where these people can save some money at.
Alrighty, man. So cdkeys.com. A lot of these things kind of stayed the same this week. My Hero One Punch Justice 2 with Plus DLC for the PC is still at $44.59. One Punch Man, A Hero Nobody Knows for PC went down a little bit to $41.69. Resident Evil 3 went up on PC for $46.89 at the moment. Watch Dogs Legion. Now I'm fucking up. Watch Dogs Legion on PC stayed the same, $53.59. Doom Eternal for the PC went up a little bit to $40.19. Cyberpunk 2077 on PC went up to $45.49, and on the Xbox One it went up to $57.59. So this will probably come down a little bit on Xbox One, I would think. So I would wait. I wouldn't buy this discount just yet if you're going to go for the Cyberpunk 2077 for Xbox. Epic Game Store announced a big one and dropped a good one, is Assassin's Creed Syndicate. Will be available from February 20th to February 26th. And now I'm going to say this wrong. Faria? Something like that?
Yeah, probably Faria.
I think it's Faria. On the PC, February 20th through the 26th. Steam still has all the Half-Life games available. Stadia Pro still has Guilt and Metro Exodus to be dated when they're going to get rid of that. Xbox One also still has TT Isle of Man, Star Wars Battlefront, and Call of Cthulhu. On February 20th, Game Pass released Ninja Gaiden 2 from the Xbox 360, Reigns, Game of Thrones for PC, and World of Horror. Coming real soon this week, on February 25th, they're going to drop Kingdom Hearts 3, 2 Point Hospital, and Wasteland Remastered. On the 26th, they're going to release Yakuza 0, and on the 27th, Jackbox Party 3. PlayStation Plus has still got the BioShock collection. It's going to end on March 2nd, so make sure you guys get out there and get it. Also ending on March 2nd is Firewall 0 and The Sims 4. PS Now, on February 4th, released, I know this is a little late, but they released Evil Within, City Skyline, and Lego Worlds. So that is all your discounts, free games, and all that shit. Go out there and get what you can so you don't miss out.
Have they not said anything about Stadia Pro and the new stuff?
Nothing Stadia Pro that's different this week for new stuff.
No, I'm talking about they haven't announced the games for March yet, for March 1st.
I couldn't find it. It's still
for some reason
on February.
For some reason, I could have swore that I heard that.
Maybe I missed it on a different article, but I can look that up real quick.
Yeah, I'm looking now, and I can't find anything either.
Yeah.
Because I could have swore I'd heard that this week on a show about the. I
am seeing that there's a discount for NBA 2K20 and Borderlands 3 for the Stadia Pro, but I'm not seeing anything else.
Okay.
Yeah, NBA 2K20 is at $19.80, and Borderlands 3 is at $30.
Okay, so we'll have to wait then. We'll have to see, I guess, and I know that I thought there was something. I guess now I could be wrong. All right, so we'll wait. We'll hold off. We'll hold off and see. So we're gonna move on to the topic of the week. Basically, our topic is: does music affect your gaming, or what do you listen to while you game? If you do, if you don't, nothing. So John, I'll let you talk a little bit about. Let you go into a little bit about it first.
Okay. So I don't do much listening when I'm playing my games, except for on occasion when I need like de-stress. So for Apex Legends, I will blare some fucking speed metal or something, and it really kind of changes the way I play the game. I really kind of get into it and just kind of jumping around and running all over the fucking place. I feel like I get a little more motivated and I get a little better kills sometimes, but for the most part, I know a lot of people listen to like podcasts and shit, but I don't.
Yeah.
I don't do that while I'm gaming because I want to hear the footsteps and I want to hear all the little different bullshit where I might get fucking ambushed because I'm a shitty gamer and I'm gonna miss it.
There are certain people.
Everything I can help.
There are a lot of people that have a podcast game, if you will, and they play a game while listening to podcasts. I know a lot of people use Borderlands 3 for that. For me, on the other hand, I can't do it either. Call of Duty is one that I can do it with. Kind of just throwing, if I want to throw some, I listen to a lot of hardcore metal, different things of that nature. I can throw some music on while I'm playing. It's in my ear, and I do feel like I'm actually paying attention more. Or I'm not paying attention more, but I am paying attention to the music, but I'm also paying attention to the game. I might play a little bit better as well. Yeah, I can't do a lot. I mean, it's not like obviously a story game. I can't do that. A multiplayer game that I'm not playing with anyone in. If I'm just playing by myself, then that's fully understandable. I can do that. But yeah, Call of Duty is probably my main one. I'm always listening to some kind of music. Podcasts are hard for me to do during the game. I know a lot of people say they listen to podcasts while they're playing. They just have some sound. Yeah. I can't do it because
those are two things that require too much focus to me.
I like to pay attention to the podcast while I'm listening to it. That's kind of why I do it while I'm working, so I can pay attention. And this I don't see how I could do that. I can't pay attention and play at the same time.
I hear a lot of people saying that they'll listen to the first 10 minutes while they play, and then literally it's just background noise at that point. And I'm like, what's the point of even listening to the podcast then? You're not gonna actually participate and listen to it. You know, I mean, I do it a lot when I'm driving. I'll listen to podcasts, and even then, sometimes I kind of zone out a little bit while I'm driving. But
because you're driving,
yeah, exactly. But then I reverse it like fucking couple minutes because I need to listen to what was going on, or maybe it was bullshit. I do that a lot with Joe Rogan.
Some
his
Joe Rogan
podcast.
stuff. Some Joe Rogan stuff I do. And I've gotten to where like I don't listen to the ones of Joe Rogan that I want to listen to. You know, like the what was the one, the Dan Aykroyd one. I really wanted to hear that, so I listened to that.
That was a good one.
Colin McCarthy.
crazy as fuck.
Yes, he is. He cracks me up, dude. I didn't know he owned a vodka company. I didn't know he owned Devil Haze until I listened to that.
That came out. I was still in my 20s, mid 20s, I think, when he came out with Crystal Skull vodka.
It's very expensive. It's like $80 for a little small thing of it.
Yeah, it's $80 now. It wasn't that expensive when it first came out, though.
It's fucking $80 for that, for like a $750 of that little ass vodka.
But he does a lot of filtration and like natural water and shit. Like he makes a good quality product. It's a good vodka.
It's okay. I'll go buy some Skull for $9.99 at Publix. And I'll be solid. I'm good. I'll take that headache for that $10.
Get me that Smirnoff, son.
Oh my god,
Smirnoff vodkas.
Oh, that's nasty. But yeah, man. I mean, the sound stuff. I like to hear the game. Like that's just me. I like to hear the game, especially when I have a headset on or through my speakers. I like to be able to hear the game. But Call of Duty is one I've found that I can sit there and listen to music and play because you're just paying attention to who you're shooting.
Yeah. Is there a band that you specifically listen to a lot that really that you feel helps your gaming? Because I listen to Soil, and Soil like is very upbeat.
I don't want to say it helps me, but it's it's like my go-to. I listen to a band called Volumes always while I'm playing, and Volumes is a very, I don't want to say they're death metal, but they're not. They're hardcore, but they're also they're it's hard to explain. They're like a metalcore band, if you will, and I'm always listening to them because it just gets me hyped for what I'm doing. Like for instance, like so the way I at work. When I get done, I'm done. I don't work to a certain time. When I get done with my route, I'm done. So if I know there's a night I want to hump this shit out and get it done and get home, I usually put Volumes in my ear and I'm going. So that's like my go-to for my hype moments.
Yeah.
It's
a good de-stressor. I like that they're adding all this speed metal to Doom, Doom Eternal. Like, all right, I get to enjoy fucking some badass metal while I play this game, and I don't have to sacrifice story or whatever, because I'm sure it's going to tone it down, and they've integrated it in such a way that it's not going to affect your experience, and that's going to be fucking great.
Yeah, I mean, especially, all the early stuff you see from Doom Eternal looks great, especially with all the music. So I think it's gonna be a fun experience. I mean, so we'll see how that goes.
Yeah, man. Well, thanks for giving me some insights into your gaming style.
Yeah, so I usually I don't do a lot of shit. I usually just fucking sit there and pay attention because I'm a story based person. I like when I was I fucked up when I was younger. When I was younger, I played a lot of multiplayer stuff. So I was always into Modern Warfare 2, and I was playing all the Call of Duties and all the Halos and just doing all that stuff. And I missed out on so many good stories. So now I'm going back and playing a lot of those and trying to play new stuff at the same time, which is a really rough thing to do because some of these games don't add up anymore or don't hold up anymore. And trying to do that, it's rough, but it's fun. I'm more of a story-based person, not really multiplayer anymore. Call of Duty's been the multiplayer game I'm playing nightly, just because it's so fun and so good to get back into. I'm loving it.
I need to find a good deal on it so I can pick it up.
Yeah, the lowest I've seen is $39.99. I think it's $39.30. I think it's $40 right now. I think.
Are you playing on PC?
I am playing it on Xbox, but it's cross-play with everything. It's cross-play with PC, Xbox, and PS4. So it's cross-play everywhere. All you need is an Activision account, and the way me and a couple friends do it is we have Discord on our phones, and we just put Discord. We have Discord on our phones while we're playing, or like if I got a buddy on PC, he's on Discord on his PC. It's basically how we do it. It works out really well. Yep. So guys, that's really gonna. Yeah, you should. I mean, if you do decide to get it, just let me know, and we can do it that way. All right, guys, that's really gonna end us out for the show. It's a short show this week. We don't really have a bunch of news. There wasn't a bunch for us to really talk about or discuss on. So You can find us anywhere. Like I said, guys, remember, you can find us on Facebook and YouTube and Instagram at ADHD Gamer Podcast, and also podcast services everywhere. Be sure to check out right now our new show, Tunorama, is up. It's our first episode is with Adam Hammond's doing. He's talking about rocket power. Next one will be with Jonathan. I won't reveal his yet, but the next episode I do with him, I was going to do it yesterday, but I didn't get home from work until very late. So I'm going to go do that with him probably sometime this week, and I won't reveal what his is, but we'll talk more about that. So that episode will be up as well, and that's Tunorama, and that's also on podcast services everywhere. All right, well, Jonathan, that's going to do it for us for episode 36. You got anything to say to the people before we get out of here?
None. Just see you later, ADHD gamers.
All right, guys, it's been wonderful. Thank you for watching, and we will see you guys next week. Peace.
Deuces.
Well, actually, I guess I'll say it. I forgot. May the force be with you.
Always.
Thank you. Thank you for not messing it up. All right, guys, it's been fun. We'll see y'all later.
Later.